In this building, when the president stands, nobody sits.
There is but one rule: hunt or be hunted.
But it just shows you how these guys don't trust each other, and they don't like each other, and they don't talk to each other.
The president has hurt their feelings. The only problem with we just want to work with them is that it's total bull.
This is a town where you can get up and yell, "You lie," at a State of the Union and raise $1 million online the next week.
Greatest state of all. I love you in the winter, summer, spring, and in the fall.
I've seen many people come forward today who I know whose lives have personally changed by the work that we've done.
As your state senator, I'm committed to change the way government works.
Being progressive stands for values of inclusiveness, of tolerance, of acceptance.
I just can't help loving you.
Politics is how we bring people together to make decisions about what our community needs and how we solve the challenges and problems of our community.
I like helping people, and I like being part of people's movement, and I really get excited and inspired by people who want to make change in their communities, in a positive change.
I look at the job of a legislator as being a salesperson of ideas. We're literally walking down the street pushing a cart saying, "Who will take my idea?" So it really is about being impassioned about ideas. And I didn't know that necessarily about myself before I got into public office, but I certainly know it now.
I love your old gray missions, love your vineyard stretching far.
My district, like San Francisco, is incredibly diverse. So going from the high-rise condos in Nob Hill to the SROs in Chinatown, the bars of Polk Street to the cafes in North Beach, it was an incredible experience and a challenging experience to talk about what residents from every corner of my district wanted to see happen in their future.
District 11, we're pretty working class, strong middle class, strong working class. We're densifying neighborhood where we haven't had any housing bill, but our population growth has skyrocketed lately, and so we're kind of living crammed into houses. A lot of immigrants, a lot of children, families with children. And so my work is representing, these people. Randall Street, there's no accessible boarding areas for the J Church. There's a woman who lives in a wheelchair over on Santa Rosa, and San Jose doesn't have, she has to go all the way over across to Glen Park to get on transit, and she has to go over that overpass. And it's just really, really troubling.
I got in through the back door. I never was motivated to run for office. I never had a plan to run for office. And Mayor Willie Brown's office contacted me and asked if I would be interested in allowing my name to be considered for an appointment to the Board of Supervisors. It was a minimal 2-year commitment. And 1 year into it, I realized that I had fallen in love with the legislative process.
Having an opportunity every day to go down the street to San Francisco and figure out what we need to fix is an incredible honor, an amazing challenge, and the best job I've ever had. Solving those problems is what gets me up in the morning and what motivates me to work 16 hours a day in this job. The challenge is doing that.
I think balancing your work at City Hall and your personal life are some of the most challenging things that are going on. I have 2 kids, and the work of being an elected official in San Francisco, it never seems to end. It's with you, even when my kids go to bed, and I got email, I got stuff literature I'm trying to read, policy I'm trying to work on. It never stops. I never stop thinking about it, so it takes a toll.
I didn't know that I would like public life, and I knew my life would change very dramatically should I get into it. I didn't know that I could take the political heat of which there is some in San Francisco. Of course, politics is a blood sport.
I love your purple sunsets, love your skies of azure blue.
I'm in the middle of my second term here at the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and because of term limits, it is my last term in office, and it has been an incredible experience and a wonderful set of challenges that we've had to tackle in recent years. I haven't been surprised so much as dealing with kind of the wide variety of experiences that represents what local politics is about.
I'm in a very different place in City Hall than other elected officials. I think I have a clear constituency, who I represent. People understand, what I'm about, what I work on. I feel a little bit iced out of like some of the discussions that are going on here at City Hall, or if I'm doing legislation that some of the departments or the mayor doesn't want, he won't talk to me directly. They won't talk to me directly. They'll talk to my colleagues about having them make changes to my legislation. I probably don't make amendments because I don't want to see my legislation watered down. I'm pretty good at not watering it down on my own, so they have to go elsewhere. And so I hear kind of last that there's an effort to undermine some of the things I'm working on or to water down some of the things I'm working on.
I've been preceded by a number of female colleagues. If you go back a few years, even before I arrived in 2002, 2003, some of the floor debates, especially in the Assembly, some of the comments made by some Republican members, you really almost can't believe that such things would come out of people's mouths. Very degrading and very insulting. And I don't want to get my comments too partisan here, but civil rights should not be a partisan issue. And unfortunately, this one party always seems just to be about 10, 15 years behind the ball.
And the Supreme Court today finally said, indeed, it is nonsense. And this is a great day. Everyone is celebrating. I'm told that folks in San Francisco are literally cheering out of their windows.
I love you, California. I just can't help loving you.
It's a typical rule of thumb that only half of all adults are actually registered to vote, and of them, typically half of them actually do vote. And so we have many San Franciscans, as is the case all over the country, of folks who don't get involved and don't engage. That being said, San Francisco, I think, has likely one of the highest levels of community, neighborhood, and political activism of any city in the country.
Being part of that effort and helping to use my office to enable people to create that change is very, very satisfying.
Well, I'm one of the luckiest guys in office because I represent the best Senate district in the state. I'm sure many of my colleagues would say the same, but in my case it's true. Why I say that is with regard to the voters specifically. I'm going to Sacramento to fight for workers' rights and consumer rights and for civil rights and to protect our environment and the quality of the air, the quality of the water. That's what they want me to do. I feel very fortunate to represent San Francisco.